So time to clap.
All right.
Three, two, one. Welcome to the Hunters Hub. This is your host Fortwan, joined by just co-host Morg today. How you doing?
Actually, it was a rough week because I was recovering from stomach flu, but
Ew.
I'm on the mend, so I'm doing a lot better. And I finally got a chance to play stories. Yay!
Yeah,
It's a good week.
I got to play it today. Like today is the day I picked it up.
Same. I mean, like I downloaded it on the release day, but I didn't really have time to play it until this morning. So
I
it was a lot of fun.
could not physically go pick it up. I have a physical copy, and
Oh,
I work was just. I think yesterday was another 11-hour day, so we were just like unable to do it.
that's rough.
Work has been very much very busy this week. Uh, so that people know when we're listening, this is Hunter Sub, a video game podcast where we talk about video games. So we are born of the Monster Hunter community, which means we are generally a Monster Hunter podcast, but we talk about other video games too. And tonight we're going to be talking about a lot of different video games because we are going to be talking about spin-offs. But this is inspired by the game that we were just discussing, Monster Hunter Stories 2, which is the second in a spin-off series of Monster Hunter.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it's pretty safe to put both that and the first game that was I think on the 3DS and mobile
Mm-hmm.
probably on that list as well. So
Yeah.
yeah,
So we'll be defining to us what a spin-off is here in a moment. But like you said, you had the stomach flu this week, Morg?
yeah, it was brutal.
Wow.
Um, yeah, I don't want to get into details of like what that involves.
No, no,
It
no,
just
no.
involves a lot of time battling for the throne, if you know what I mean.
King of the Hill or the porcelain. One of the two.
Oh yeah.
What I was gonna say is I'm kind of glad we can record today because I didn't have internet until Thursday. My internet went
Oh
out the day
good
after
God.
recording last week and didn't come back till Thursday, and I was fighting with Comcast probably all since Tuesday to get it
Oh my
fixed.
God.
So that was rough. Um, anyways, so let's talk a little bit about like what we define. I do want to talk a little bit about stories too, just a little brief initial impression because we both only just started playing today. Um, but um, cool. Oh, I need to maximize so it doesn't show those pop-ups. Hopefully, anyways. Um, so spinoff, in my definition, is that when you use a brand or a series in a way that the gameplay is altered. Um,
Yeah.
so
Um.
you're using the same
Oh,
characters, but they're not continuing what we would call their main agenda. Um,
I suppose, yeah, that would make sense because, like, if we were to say, like, compare, like, the Fallout series, 1 and 2 compared to 3 and 4, they're drastically different.
well, I
But
wouldn't call
you could
three and
also,
four a spinoff because they are progression
no,
in the series, but I would call Fallout
exactly.
Shelter a spinoff because that's a total different genre shift.
Yes.
Um,
Now, for what about Pokemon Go? Pokemon Go is definitely a spin-off, correct?
correct.
Because
Yes.
like even though it does include all the main characters from the main storyline, it's a completely different
Oh
entity to itself.
shit! I forgot about any sort of Pokemon spinoff. I am adding.
Oh boy.
I am
Oh,
adding
good, because I
one.
got a bunch. Oh boy. What about board games? Do they count as spin-offs?
I think we're gonna focus on video games for this one, but board
Okay.
games.
Okay.
Yeah, I could, you could, if you're going to go outside of media, I could say, you could say a lot of things are spin off, like the anime and da 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 da
There's an Indigo Plateau board game where you start off with a starter and you go through the entire region and you try and collect Pokemon using dice rolls.
Yeah,
And
with
you can
Pog
use
chips.
status ailments and damage and stuff like that. Yeah, exactly like
Yeah, I
that.
used to have it.
And
Yeah.
yeah, I want to count that as a spin-off, but I know I can't.
No, we're gonna focus on video games. So spin-offs. So here we'll give a couple examples of a spin-off. So what would like a good example of like different spin-offs versus series? So like Mario. What do you think of Mario? Mario is typically what, a
Okay.
platformer?
It's typically a platformer. So if we were to count all of the golf games, or, well, actually,
Sports.
just all the sports
Yeah.
games, all of the go-karting games, all the Mario Party games,
Mm-hmm.
what about Mario Maker? Like,
Mario
would that
Maker is a weird one
be count?
because
Yeah,
it's so I would call it a spin-off in the same vein of like Mario Paint, where it's a
yeah,
creator.
Mario Paint.
Um,
I remember Mario Paint on SNES. That was
yeah,
a good game, actually.
yeah.
Remember the
So
fly swatter game where you have to
yeah,
swat all the flies? Yeah.
they redid it where you had a fly swatter boss.
Yes.
Um,
Oh my god.
the so what I was gonna say is Mario is a good example of having a lot of spin-offs, so much so they have their own series. So for instance, Mario Kart I would consider a spin-off, right? But
Yeah.
I would
Mm-hmm.
not consider Mario 64 a spin-off, even though there is two branches of platformers. There's 3D platformers and 2D platformers. I would still consider those like quote unquote main series Marios. Now granted, I think these
Yeah.
definitions, especially in this case, would be somewhat subjective to us. As long as Morgan and I agree, I think we can have a good discussion on it. You know, listeners
Yeah.
and watchers on Twitch, you guys may not totally agree with our definition, and that's fine. You know, that's why we're sort of prefacing this. I would also say if you look at the Metroid series, I would say that Prime, I wouldn't really consider Prime necessarily a spin-off, more of a reimagining of the series or an alternate timeline. Whereas because
Mm-hmm.
they kind of follow the same themes and the same gameplay just in a 3D space, if that makes sense.
We could also. Oh, there is one I believe is guaranteed to be a spin-off that I think it might be able to agree with it being a spin-off. Mortal Kombat Mythologies Sub-Zero.
Yeah, that would be a
It's
spin-off.
completely centralized
Mm-hmm.
around Sub-Zero storyline, and it's like an action adventure game. It's not necessarily just
It's
strictly
not a
a
fighting game.
tournament-based
Yeah.
fighter game. Yeah.
Yeah. So that is, I think Morg, you and I roughly agree on what that is. So uh,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
we can get into it. So first of all, obviously, Monster Hunter Stories meets this list. I'm pretty sure for both of us, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It does.
So how far did
Mm-hmm.
you
One
get
hundred
so
percent.
far in Stories 2?
In Stories 2, I only just started playing today, and I
Same
managed to
here.
get a Kuluyaku egg and a Bulldrome egg, and I encountered the Anjanath
Mm-hmm.
ambush. That's about as far as I got into. I'm trying to get to the rite of channeling as fast as I can, so that way I can switch off all the genes that I
Right.
have on like the three Kuluyakus that I have, because I'm trying to make the perfect one, and one of them has the rainbow gene, and I'm like, but it's not
Mm.
in the middle. It's like at the bottom, and I'm like, I can't
I
complete any of my combos.
I have a Aptonoth with a rainbow gene.
Where's it placed in the bingo slots? Is it like
Center top.
center top? Oh, okay, because mine is like I think center bottom. No wait, or
Yeah.
it's either center bottom or left bottom. I can't remember, but I want it like dead center, right in the middle, so that way I can put it in like so I can get those combos, just the
Yeah.
perfect ones, going on at the right time.
Um I
Oh,
I'm excited though. Because like Pokemon, I have decided to give myself a typing challenge.
oh, have you? Have you decided to make it so you have mono typing? You didn't, did you?
No, no, not monotyping. So I'm not doing all technical or all power or whatever or all certain element. I am doing all herbivores.
Oh.
So,
Oh.
to my knowledge,
Oh.
that allows me Boldrome, Aptonoth, Monoblos, and Diablos that I have seen so far. Um,
So far, yes. Well, at least you've got some pretty good ones. That's not too bad. Um,
Now,
Trying to think of a
that leaves
couple.
two other slots. I have no idea what they're going to be. But for the time being, I'm not going to cause myself to miss things because I'm doing this typing. So I will probably keep, if I have to, like something like a Velocidrome in the background so I can do the jumps and the various like world movement things. I will probably keep
Yeah.
things of that nature in my party so I could do that. But if I have an option of an herbivore that can, I will do those. Um,
I do have a question.
mhm.
There is Duramboros in the game. Does anybody know if you can actually hatch it? Because if you can, ooh,
um,
you get Twinkle Toes.
from what I heard, no. From what I heard, no.
Oh,
From what I also
I wanted
heard,
my own Rafflecopter.
no
That's too
Texicabra,
bad.
even though he's in the game too.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, you can't hatch a Tetrakabra, which is really, really weird. Like, you get Zamtrios,
They did him dirty.
so...
They did him dirty this year. Poor. There's gonna be a which Monster Hunter monster loses in the year 2021. It's Tetsukabra.
It's Tetsucabra, yeah, because
Yeah.
he only gets like slightly promoed as a tadpole in Rise. You don't
Yep.
get to fight it. He shows up in Rise as a monster that you get to beat up, but you don't get to hatch it from an egg or anything like that. I think you could actually no, wait. Could you actually get a Tetsucabra in Stories 1? I'm trying to
Mm,
remember. I
don't
don't
know.
remember. I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Because I don't know, my mind is playing tricks on me, and I just picture a Tetsukabra with saddle, and then like you hatching the egg, and it's like this little frog with these little stubs is going, "Rah!" and
I'm
then
pretty
there
sure
you go. There's
not
your little baby Tetsukabra.
because the first time we've seen a baby Tetsukabra is Rise, so I'm pretty sure not.
Yeah.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
but so yeah, so Stories 2 has been
Yeah.
going well. I think I'm a
That's
little further
unfortunate.
ahead than you, Morg.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
I don't want to spoil things for you, but
How much
I
could you possibly spoil?
well, okay, I don't think it's much of a spoiler, and I'm sorry if it is.
Mm-hmm.
But
Oh, I'm not worried about spoilers.
that Anjanath that chased you away, I just defeated it.
Mm-hmm. You beat it?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, there's no way you could have beaten it in your first encounter, was it?
No, no, you see
Because
it.
I think it's like a fix.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah,
supposed to run away fight.
yeah.
So
She'll drag you away by your ear. You can't. No, you encounter it a second time and then beat it, and it's not too much further than where you're at, really.
okay, great, great.
Because we both started today. Like I did not start
Yeah,
until after lunch today. Like I wasn't even home
yeah,
with the game until after lunch. So Stories 2, obviously,
yeah.
Stories good spinoff. We want to talk a little bit about Stories 1, how you felt about it. I played the story, I beat it, and I dropped the game. I thought it was cool, but I despise playing on 3DS. I despise playing on 3DS at all times.
Uh,
So it didn't matter if it was 4U or I didn't play 3U on 3DS. I played it on Wii U. 4U or Generations. Those are probably my two least played games because of the system they were on. So
okay, that makes sense.
even
No,
though
yeah, I enjoyed Stories 1. Yeah, a lot actually. I went out of my way to actually try and make very niche and competitive sets, including I think it was an ice built molten Tigrex, so in that way I could skill seal my opponents, and then I gave him a number. I think I gave him a speed and a tech ability just to round him out, so in that way he'd be able to knock out people's skills, and then they'd be forced into the rock paper scissors. And because I know what they were using, I could predict what they were going to use. Um, and
Mm.
then, yeah, there were a bunch of really weird ones that I made that were really, really fun. But yeah, water and ice were probably the best elements because of skill seal.
I
Very, very
had
fun.
a Black Diablos that I used the entire game.
Mm-hmm. Yep, Black Diablos is actually probably one of the toughest
Mm-hmm.
in the original
I
stories.
had a lot of
And then
HP up.
Red Kizu was really good. Yeah.
I
Mm-hmm.
remember having a
And
lot of
then I
HP
think,
up,
yeah.
and I would tank a lot of hits. I'd be like, "Oh no, I lost on the head-to-head. Don't care."
Hmm. Actually, a lot of the subspecies were really, really good in that game.
Yeah,
I'm actually surprised that they weren't used more often. And goddamn, those metal wraths!
I don't
Wow,
remember seeing them
they had
very
some
much.
really good genes. Yeah, they were actually not
Did you
bad.
have to go up through the battle tower to get those? Because I know that's how you got Kieran too.
Yeah, I ended up having to get their eggs through the tower as well.
Yeah, I
So,
didn't. I
um,
didn't do the tower. I beat the story and I was done. So I
yeah.
did. I don't. Not. I may have touched the tower. I may not have. Like I put it down that quick.
Uh, did you ever do like the competitive, like the offline and online?
Mm-mm. No,
Like
I never played online.
oh so you never got the crossover monster or
I got Epona.
what was it, the Glavnus? Okay, yeah. And I think
I
it was
used Epona in
Great
my
Pookie.
party. I did have Great
Mm-hmm.
Pookie. Yes, I didn't use Great
Great
Pookie,
Pookie is a really good one.
but I did have Great Pookie.
It's a really good one. You'd be surprised, actually. I think you'd like using
I
it.
I had it. I just didn't use it. Um, so I don't honestly. I don't have a lot to say about Stories One. I liked it. But I did like an
Like Mana
episode.
blows.
I did an episode of the podcast
Mm-hmm.
here about it. And yeah, that's it. Like, so you were into it a lot more than I was.
Oh yeah, I love that game.
I will say this is the first time that I have sort of like binged a game today. Like I don't really do that a lot anymore, especially with the kids around. But I did mostly play this when the kids were preoccupied today. Usually I'm like, okay, I feel like playing something a little lighter. This one I was like, nope, I'm totally into this. I'm totally playing it. So that's a good sign is I'm actually really invested in this right now. So we'll see.
It's really yeah, it's quite a lot better. I like the fact that you can switch between all the different types of weapons. That they've included the mechanics of like piercing, slashing, and bludgeoning. Um, it's very D&D almost with the way that the damage types are all designed. But yeah, I also like the fact that a lot of the weapons like complement each other pretty well. Like for example, bow is able to put status ailments on your opponents,
Mm-hmm.
and the hammer gets bonuses when your opponent has status ailments on it. It's really nice. They complement each other very, very well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah,
Yeah.
no.
So what
I
three
like that they
weapons
added
do
new
you
mechanics
carry
to it.
with you?
I have been using greatsword, bow, and hammer. So
Same.
I wanted to
100% the
try.
same.
I wanted to get into gun lance, but I feel like you have to win those head to heads a lot in order for you to make them really count.
Mm-hmm.
But it's more a weapon for like those really longer duration battles, like for example boss battles. I think that gun lance would really shine in, and especially if like they bring in a lot of little minions. But I find that a lot of the fights tend to end very, very quickly because I know what I'm doing.
Yeah. Um, this probably isn't true. I probably have failed at least one, but head to head, I don't think I have failed more than a few head to heads yet. I have been very good
Yeah,
at
I think yeah.
even when they switch up their move. At worst, I've come to a draw.
I think understanding like when they decide to change their move sets, it really depends on like what kind of a phase they're in. For example, like Kuliaku is typically a technical, but once it lifts up the rock, then it switches over to power because it can't really do technical stuff when it has a rock in its hand. It has no choice but to brute force things.
Mm-hmm.
And then like Velocidrome is all about speed, but then once you piss it off, then it goes into power. Yeah, depending on like what sort of a stage that they're in the fight, that's going to change the way that they approach attacking you, and so then you
Yeah.
just have to um, take that into account when you're fighting them. So, yeah, it's not bad. I think it's a good system because it does mix things up.
Right. It is. It is. It's very much adding the weapon damage types on top of everything else was kind of cool. Because like I actually switched my weapons now. Like I remember,
Yeah, it's really good.
I remember in Stories 1, I only used Greatsword. That was it ever, and I would maybe element match at times, like if I had a big boss fight coming up. There was a Fatalis fight, I think I
Yeah.
remember that I tried to do some element matching on that, but that was it. Like
Ooh. Yeah. Fatalis is not easy. That's
no,
like very end at the highest reaches of the tower. I think there's
no,
actually like an
he was
event
in the
quest where you can
story.
fight Fatalis.
Like I said, I never went to the
Oh,
tower,
okay.
so he was. I know I fought him, and he was in the story. I pretty sure he was taken over by whatever
Okay.
the not frenzy was, whatever the
The
story was.
Black Blight, yeah.
Yeah. I'm positive that he wasn't in the tower. Then someone's going to prove me
Yeah.
wrong, but I know I didn't go in the tower at least. Um, or if I did, it wasn't very far. But so yeah, so obviously story's a big spin-off for us. So Morg, do you just want to go back and forth on this?
I think that would be a great idea. So,
Trying to
do you want
keep.
me to start or do you want to start?
So I have
Because I could start off with a really easy one.
I have 8. How many do you have?
Let me see. How many have I got? Well, okay. Uh, since I kind of talked, um, pretty much most of mine. Oh no! Why didn't I throw all my options out there? Well, you know what? Um,
Just start
I
us
think
off, Morg.
maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Well, let's talk about Pokemon Pinball. Now, this game, I
Ooh.
played it on Game Boy Color. This was a really fun game. Oh my god. And it had like a built-in vibrational controls in like the cartridge that would shake your entire Game Boy. So God. It was really, really fun and enjoyable to play. Really stupid game, and I like
Um.
that the concept of it was is that you'd go from like route to route,
Yes.
and like most pinball games, they would have like some element of like story built into it, where if you collected a certain number of points and you got the ball into certain areas in the pinball machine, it would
Right.
help you to progress further. I mean, I think there
It's
was like a
called.
Dracula
It's
and
there's
Terminator one
actually
or
a
whatever,
whole.
but yeah.
There's a whole genre, and it's called adventure pinball.
It's exactly
Yeah.
like that. It's
Yeah.
exactly like Adventure Pinball. And you can catch Pokemon in Pokemon Pinball, where it'll show up like I think in like the middle of the pinball machine, whatever, and then it's just your job to try and like get past all the little barriers and to try and
Yeah.
hit the ball at the right spot of the Pokemon so that way you could catch it. It is oh man. It is really tricky. I'm glad somebody remembers that game. Oh yes.
I'd played it. I didn't own it, so it wasn't on my list. But I will tell you this, Morg. I have 2 other pinball games on my list.
Oh, please tell.
So a good transition, and I guess I'll just talk about them now. Metroid Pinball. Do you ever play this?
Oh, I've never played it. No,
So
actually, yeah, I
Metroid
want to hear about
Pinball
this.
was a DS game. Uh,
Oh, I never played that. Yeah,
um,
I would have liked to.
Also another adventure pinball. Now granted, it was still score based, but I think even Pokemon was still score based, as far as like
Yeah.
high scores and that whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
The Metroid pinball, you were Samus, obviously, in the morph ball form, and you would go
Mm-hmm.
around defeating bosses and stuff. Uh, it was wonderful. The biggest memory I have of playing this game is I borrowed my brother's DS when I went on senior trip in high school, and I played this on the bus, and I think our first stop was DC, and DC is about a 6 or 8 hour drive, so I got a good amount of pinball on that machine, sitting next to one of my buds, chatting about video games.
Yeah.
Like it was. I don't know. I liked that one a lot, but one I liked even more and did even better in was Kirby Pinball on the Game Boy. Now,
Oh.
Kirby Pinball, another adventure one where you would go up to the top and it was all linear. So you would go up screens. You would shoot the ball up on top of the screen and it would actually come up the bottom through the bottom of the screen. So you were going up levels. And you had to fight
Oh, that's cool.
you would have to fight Wispy Woods, you'd have to fight Krakow, you'd have to fight like some classic Kirby bosses. Eventually King Dedede at the end is who you got to kill, and you got points, and you got to, once you killed him, you could start over again on the same amount of balls and get better points. This was a competition between my brother, my mother, and myself for the high score. My mother usually leading, um, just 80s kids that grew up playing pinball, so you know
Mom knows how to game.
yeah, no, she for that one, yes, yeah. So that's another spin-off that I really enjoyed was Kirby Pinball, along with Metroid Pinball. So I think that was a good transition. I'm
Mm-hmm.
glad you had a pinball game on there because I was like, I have two pinball games. So
You have to have at least one pinball game on there. Oh my god. Or otherwise, what's the point? And you also have to have at least one gotcha game. That's why Pokemon Go's on my list as well. But I mean, like, what is there to say about
my
Pokemon Go? We know what it's about.
my gotcha game, the one I was hard into and I spent money on, was killed by Nintendo.
Oh
So
no.
back in early 2010, maybe 2011, um,
Yeah.
they entered that partnership with DNA, the mobile developer, and they started doing. I think it was Animal Crossing. It was developed by DNA. Nintendo. It was Animal
I
Crossing.
don't think I didn't know that they were doing Animal Crossing. Wait, were they doing it with that company?
Yes, DNA.
Really?
I don't.
Oh.
It could have not been Animal Crossing. It could have been one of the other Nintendo IPs, like they did the Mario Run or something like that. Like, remember there was a bunch of like
Mm-hmm.
mobile Nintendo games right around that time. Um, they specifically partnered with DNA to do that, and because of the DNA partnership with Nintendo, they closed down a bunch of their active games without warning, which included my favorite one called
Mm-hmm.
Hellfire: The Summoning. It was a gotcha game where
Oh.
you played skee ball. I'm not even kidding. It was like visual skee ball where you're hitting targets that were the enemy monsters, and you had three balls that consisted of different elements of like six monsters that made up that ball, and then six monsters that made up the second ball. And so you could have like a fire lightning ice ball or like an all fireball if you had six
Oh
fire
my.
monsters. It was wonderful. I loved it. And it was totally a gotcha game, and I spent money on that thing unironically. And then Nintendo closed it in the middle of an event. In the middle of an event, it dies and it stops updating. Now,
Oh.
I won't say Nintendo closed it. DNA closed it, and they cited their reason is resources had to come off of that game and go to Nintendo's projects. So,
Of course. Of course.
and that's the last time I cared about a cell
Oh,
phone
that
game.
reminds me. Yep. It's almost as bad as when I was playing, I think it was Clash Royale, which I guess is a spin-off of of Clash of Clans.
Yes.
Mm, yeah, yeah. I spent a lot of money on that game too, and I played it
Didn't
so competitively. It was
I remember you were still doing it when you were podcasting with me. I remember you'd be like, "Oh, I got this. I got to finish up this match. Hold on." I remember that.
yeah. I was doing it in the middle of podcasting. Oh my god, I was addicted. It's disgraceful, and my god, like some of the decks that I came out with were just amazing. Like I think I came out with like Pekka Witch Freeze. There was like giant skeleton balloon decks
Mm-hmm.
where you would use the clone or freeze cards. Oh yeah, using the clone cards on those units that when they die they would drop like an explosive and it would blow stuff up. If you use the clone card on one of those kinds of units, well, any unit, the clone will only have 1 HP. So when they're already at a tower and you know that they're designed to just, die and then leave something to blow up the tower with, oh my god, it's ridiculous.
Wow.
Yeah, and using that in conjunction with things like freeze, or if you're using golems where if they die they explode and make two little golemites or whatever they were.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, like the stuff that you could come up with was insane. Or making decks where you had like a really good tank like a P.E.K.K.A or a golem or whatever, and if you had a witch behind it, it would spawn skeletons like crazy, and you could like maybe have a baby dragon for splash damage and also being in the air. And if you use graveyard while one of the towers is targeting the tank, well, you're spawning skeletons all around the tower, and it's only targeting the big guy, so all these little guys are spawning up and swarming around the tower. Oh my god. What a fun game it was. It was brutal, so trolly, especially when everybody would be playing like mass goblin barrel, like in like 2v2s, where
Mm-hmm.
all of a sudden you just see masses of goblin barrels and people using the mirror card so that they could play the last card that they played before. So there'd be like 4 goblin barrels going right down onto the main tower, and then they do something stupid like either playing freeze or clone or both, and then just there'd be like 16 goblins stabbing at the main tower and then just gone in 2 seconds. And
Hmm.
yeah, it was a
Clash.
fun time.
I am learning about Clash Royale meta today.
Clash Royale was Clash Royale meta shifted every single month because they were constantly coming up with new updates
Oh
and
yeah.
adding new cards to the game. And so like the meta was constantly shifting all the time. So there was always an opportunity to make a new deck. And people would be spending so much money just trying to max out the new card and trying to get everything that they could so that way they could be competitively viable. It was bad.
Apparently, you're bringing back
Oh,
memories for Pokejon too.
oh yeah, that was an awesome time. You know what? Maybe we'll play it again. Like maybe you'll stream it again, and then maybe I'll just watch you, and then I'll backseat game you or coach you, depending on whatever it is that you
How
interpret it as.
yes. However you feel that is. Um.
Yeah, we got to do that.
So Clash Royale, was that one of yours, or was that just something that reminded you?
You know what? I'm actually gonna put it on the list as well because
That's
yeah, it
fair.
is a spin-off, and I
Yeah.
played the ever living crap out of it for years. How could I not put it on the list?
So
Oh my god.
so
What a
in
crazy game. Super
so
expensive to play too.
yeah, I bet gotcha games suck in that aspect. So
Yeah.
keeping on a roll for me with Kirby Pinball. One of my favorites is Kirby Golf. Do you ever play Kirby Golf?
Oh my god. Oh, I've heard about it, but I actually have not seen any gameplay of
You
it. I actually want to learn more about
you
this.
have in every way you are able to play this, Morg. It is on the free Super
Okay.
Nintendo stuff on the Switch online.
Really? Okay, I'm going to have to get this game
So,
cuz
well,
yeah,
technically
I'm
you
going to have
already
to look
have it.
this up.
You just got to download it.
Really? Okay.
You know the SNES
Okay.
library thing
When
that
I
comes free
when I
with
go
Nintendo
home.
Online? That. It's on
Okay,
that.
yeah.
Kirby
Yeah.
Golf is on
Okay.
that. So Kirby Golf is is very different from both Golf and Kirby. But the concept is roughly the same. Put Kirby in the hole. Now, here's the thing, it's a
Oh
SNES
my
game.
god.
So the controls aren't going to be like 3D. So you can either chip Kirby or you can putt Kirby. You're not driving Kirby down a range. You're actually on like Cubert-esque levels of isometric, like these
Okay.
geometric levels. And what has to happen is you have to kill every enemy on the screen by bumping into them, and the final enemy becomes the hole.
Oh, okay, that's cool. I actually like that concept. It's all. So
So,
wait, is it kind of like Angry Birds in a sense? The way that you described
no,
it, where you have to kind of
no, because Angry Birds,
like go across like a
you're
certain.
from a fixed point shooting. You actually move, so
Uh,
you move around the course.
oh,
Um, so you'll press A to go for
okay.
power, and you'll have to line up the power well. But you can also spin Kirby like golf, so you can make him skip further or skip backwards. When you chip him, um, you get power ups. So if you, just like in Kirby, when you inhale like Flamo or whatever his name is, you can press B. You turn
Mm-hmm.
into a literal fireball that jettisons across the room. So,
Oh my god.
and your goal, and I think every course is 9 holes instead of 18. So each course is a level, and your goal is still to hit par, or whatever. But the par is only tracked on a total basis, not an individual level basis, as far as I remember.
Okay.
Also, you have energy, which is measured in tomatoes. Because you know the mega tomato in Kirby.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't hit an enemy, you lose a tomato. Hitting enemies gives you tomatoes, and you have 5 tomatoes. So if you run out of tomatoes, Kirby dies, and you come back with another life.
Oh.
So
Oh
there's
no.
also
That's too bad.
a bunch of that, and there's actually some cool cues. Like when you're down to your last 2 tomatoes, Kirby does a kind of thing. And he's like just tired, and then like you're down to your final tomato, he goes hoo hoo hoo, like he's super tired. Um, um, yeah, yeah. Pokejohn's talking about it in chat. Yeah, this is one of the craziest Super Nintendo games. It's one of my favorite. Um,
Yeah.
there, I believe, and I'm not sure, and I would like to see a speed run or something of it. And I never looked. I probably should actually. Um, I believe every hole has a possible hole in one if you execute it correctly. But it involves
Oh.
knowing how to do your shot. Oh, you can also curve your shot. That's the thing you can do without chipping is
Oh.
you can shape your shot to be a circle. So you can actually
Okay, now that's cool.
you can oh yeah. A lot of people have seen it because of Game Grumps. Game Grumps got their own mod where they had like 100 level mod that they played on stream, not stream, but on YouTube. Yeah, this game was really popularized by Game Grumps, but um, yeah, the Game Grump, and yeah, if you ever want to see this in action and don't really want to play it, watch the Game Grumps series for this. Freaking hilarious, including their custom levels. But suffice to say, there's all sorts of crazy things. You turn into the snow guy, the ice, like the ice power. You can
Oh yeah.
freeze
I know
water.
exactly what you're talking about.
You can freeze the water traps and slide across them.
Oh, now that is actually really clever. I like that a
You
lot.
you get the umbrella ability. You can deploy the umbrella up in the air above the hole and control yourself down into the hole. Um, you get the
Wow.
rock ability.
Okay.
You can just straight up just turn into a rock over the hole, or turn into a rock to save yourself from going off the edge of the level and losing an extra tomato. Um,
Yeah.
it's an amazing game, Morg. So at the very least, check out the Game Grumps series or just play it yourself. It's really good. It's best actually in multiplayer. 2-player Kirby Golf, which was built into the old games, really good. Also, I believe it's the same levels too. I don't think they're different levels. So,
Okay.
so there you go, Kirby Golf
Yeah, you know what?
on the
I might give it
SNES.
a shot.
So hit us with your next one, because after that I've got another golf one.
Okay.
Take a guess.
Okay. Oh no. Okay. Let me see. So we talked about Pokemon Pinball. We talked about Pokemon Go. I'm going to leave Pokemon Snap off and going to let you talk about that one because that one you
I
are
didn't even
much
think
more
about
familiar with
Pokemon
than I
Snap.
am.
Yeah, I gotta add that.
What? You?
I literally said I forgot anything Pokemon.
Okay, yeah, because most of the stuff that is on my list, I mean, like, I wish I'd played more of it. Oh my god.
I can't believe I forgot Snap.
Oh, good gravy. Have I really exhausted my list? There's got to be more that. You know what? Fallout Shelter was actually not bad.
Mm-hmm. I
It's
never played it, but I
an
get it.
interesting game. Mm-hmm. You being directly responsible for maintaining your vault, making sure that everybody's well fed, that everybody has proper amounts of oxygen and water. It's not radiated, and so there are no ghouls or any bad guys or raiders coming in to steal any of your people. It's a fun game. It's pretty fun. It's a good way to waste your time.
Cloud just
Not really
mentioned
sure what else there is to talk
another
about it.
one that I love. Yes, the Pokemon TCG game on Game Boy.
The trading card
Oh
game.
my god, that game! I still have
Oh
remember
my
the
god.
music. It's actually funny because it's better than the real trading card game at this point.
Oh yeah, Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. Oh my god, why am I not talking about Pokemon Mystery Dungeon?
Now that is on my
We
list.
both
That is
played
the
it.
one that I had on my
That.
list. Yes.
That is a good one. Save it for me, please, because my
No,
list
go
is
ahead.
surprisingly short
Go
for some
ahead.
strange reason.
Mystery Dungeon.
Yeah. Well, actually, okay. Yeah.
go ahead.
Mystery Dungeon. If you like Dungeons and Dragons, and you like Pokemon, you know, this is like your bread and butter. You put the two together. It's amazing. You can go in there, you get a starter, you have to fill out a little questionnaire that will help decide like what kind of a starter you're going to get, but everybody knows you're going to cheat anyways, so you can get the starter you want.
I know like that.
That's what everybody does.
I played the first one. I didn't know what that was, right? I was like, what is this personality test? Oh.
The personality test is so that way you line up with the Pokemon you're supposed to be.
I believe I got a Charmander when that happened. And I was like, but I wanted Bulbasaur. Oh well, I'll just burn things to death.
I got him a Chop my first time. And then, like, I think years down the road, I never got it again. And I have been doing everything I can to try and cheat that test so that way I could get him a Chop. And I think that it's bullshit. I think that the whole thing is rigged and that it's a lie and it just gives you a Pokemon at random. What do you think, Pokejohn? Are those tests ever ran? And like, oh no! Nepa 8833 probably wanted to see if we were famous.
Yeah, that thing.
Oh,
I saw it.
We missed an opportunity to be famous. Oh, well. Better luck next time, I guess.
We'll get there ourselves. We don't need them.
Makes sense. Yeah, we don't need the bots. Collecting our data and selling them to China. Oh no! Anyways,
that's already
moving
happening.
on.
That's already all the time happening. Anyways.
Yep. Anyways, moving on. So you go through all the different levels of the dungeons. You have a number of objectives you can complete. You can save people who got lost in a dungeon, even people who are online who just happen to TPK and they need the assistance. They'll send out a letter and be like, "Hey, online," and then maybe another team will go in there and try and rescue them. Then there's like let me see, like collecting items.
Yeah.
You always got Eevee? What? That's not fair. Apparently my sis gets the best one every single time. Anyways, Where was I? Oh wait, wasn't there like a round where you had like an Empoleon and a Blaziken? Yeah, no wait, no, yeah, you started off as a Torchic, and you got a Piplup, so you got both the birds. What was it in? Was
Probably
it
like the
Time?
Rangers one, something Rangers, right?
Probably. I can't remember. I can't remember which one it was. I know that it was on
Oh,
the
it was Time.
Nintendo
Okay,
DS, right? Am I right? It was Time. Yeah, I was right. Okay. But yeah,
cool.
yeah, there's a number of objectives you can complete. And then it can include collecting items. It could include like maybe a specific boss that you have to beat for a bounty or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
There's a ton of different little goals and objectives that you can complete for it, and a whole host of rewards that you can get for it. And the great thing about that game is that your traded evolutions only require the trade item
Yeah.
to be given to them, and then they immediately evolve. It's wonderful. So I got my Machop up to a Machamp immediately after at post game, and my God, it was really rewarding, especially at the very end when you find out that what was it? I think there was like a little side quest or whatever it was where I think it was the Blastoise and the Charizard from the two different teams, they teamed up, and then they decided to go into this one dungeon and they get absolutely wiped by Mewtwo.
Hmm.
Beating Mewtwo. Woo! Now that was hard. That was a lot of fun though too. And I ended
I
up getting Lugia, Ho, Zapdos, Moltres, Articuno, Mewtwo. I think there was Rayquaza in it as well, but I don't remember if I actually got him. But yeah, I remembered that Red Rescue Team was really fun. It
hmm.
was a really good game. Very, very fun.
Okay.
And
Uh,
all the other ones were great too. I think there was one, I think it was Infinity Gates or something like that.
there was one that
That
came
one I
out.
never finished, but I know it was on 3DS.
There was one that came out. Was it last year or
And
the
there
year
was one on the
before?
Switch.
Yeah, there's a Switch one.
I think it might have been last year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was on Switch, and it was like it was essentially the Rescue Team games like of Red and Blue, but updated with the whole bigger roster and stuff like that. I never bought it, and I should have. I should have got that game, but I didn't. Shame on me. I'm sorry, guys.
I didn't either.
Oh
I
well.
want. I had considered it, but I didn't.
I wanted it. I actually did want it.
I am now thinking of getting it, but I mean, I have other games that I'm playing and finishing right now, including Stories 2. And then I still haven't finished Crown Hunting
Hmm.
in Rise, although that has slowed down significantly. Um,
I still haven't beaten Trials of Mana, and I've been telling myself to beat that game for the longest time. Hell, I haven't even, gotten to Vicar Amelia and Bloodborne. I should be there right now, but oh well.
I mean, work, time,
And Sinking City.
yeah.
Need Sinking City done as well. That would be a great game to play
I've
too.
actually been playing a lot more
Twice.
Grim Dawn again.
Oh.
So
Mm-hmm. That too was a really good game. I think that was a wait. Is
I'm
that the
pretty sure
shooter?
you haven't played
I
it.
think it is, right?
I'm positive you haven't played it. No,
No,
it is
no, I
not a
haven't.
shooter. It is a
No.
Diablo clone.
Well, there goes for trying. Anyways, what's on your list?
One of these days, we're going to do this ARPG discussion, and I'm just going to drag you and Pan through the nose on that one. Because,
Oh
damn
my
it, I want to
god,
talk
yeah.
about ARPGs. It's my favorite genre, and no one plays them. Anyways. So
Yeah, you're just gonna have us by an ear each, just drag us down the rabbit hole. Why not? I mean, I think
was
I've only ever
literally
played
going
like
to
Diablo 2
gift it.
and 3.
I was literally going to gift it to people so they could play with me. Anyways, um, Mario Golf is the other golf game that I want to talk about. I don't know what the reception is on the new Mario Golf game for Switch. I don't know if people have been enjoying it.
Mm-hmm.
I know that people were like, well, the previous Mario Golf game had like 72 different 18-hole courses and blah blah blah, and I'm like, I don't care. I don't care. I love golf in general. It's the one of two sports that I will watch. It's something that I enjoyed sharing with my late grandfather when I could. He was an avid golfer, as well as a trumpet player, which I was more of a trumpet player than a golfer. Um, but he taught me how to golf. I have his clubs and stuff. When he passed away, those were left to me specifically. Um, and I love golf, and I love the concept of it. And playing Mario Golf, and now I've been playing it for me very lightly. I would say I normally would just get in full, just play it all the time. I haven't been playing it as much. I've been really, um, I haven't put a ton of time into this new one on Switch, but I have unlocked the final courses, I believe, just this morning. Um,
Mm-hmm.
it is fun. It is a lot of fun. I do get a little frustrated with penalty shots of my ball knocking into the water and then getting an extra stroke for that, but that is just golf in general. Um,
You get BOs.
yeah, well here's the problem, okay? I am too much of an ambitious shot. I will try the tricky ones that I probably shouldn't have.
You wind it up, don't you? Yeah, I
Eh,
know. I know you. Yep.
Here's the problem.
You wind up on that sucker and just go.
I
You
also well
send
here's
that
the,
sucker
no
flying.
no no. I don't hit it hard enough, Morg. That's my problem.
Really?
Now,
You undershoot it.
well, here's the problem.
What?
I play Luigi. Luigi apparently is the weakest character outside of Princess Peach. Princess Peach has the shortest drive
What?
than Luigi. I'm like, how does Toad outdo Luigi? How does Toad or Yoshi? Yoshi doesn't even have that many like length of arms. What the hell? Like Yoshi's got a decent one. Like
You'd think that because he was so tall that he would actually have a decent swing,
no,
but
I
no,
mean, I'll
no.
I'll go
There's
up
just no
against.
strength. His arms are rubber.
Well, the problem I have is there's a couple complaints I have with this game, but I love Mario Golf in general. I just love golf. Mario Golf is a nice, fun. If you just want to do vanilla golf with Mario Golf, it is fantastic. You can shape your shots. You can drive like how like you just like practice driving. It's really cool. It's really well done. The new one has special power shots that I'm not a fan of, although they're funny.
Oh, really?
So they do some weird things. On a lot of them, what they'll do is if you drive the ball and you do your power shot, which you have to charge up your power shot over time, like doing good shots or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. Um, One of them, well, actually, a lot of them do this thing where they shoot the ball and it will go further, but it stops exactly where it lands. Doesn't roll, doesn't do anything. And the my mentality of golf, I don't like that. You're not trying to aim directly for the pin. You're trying to guess the wind and sort of get the ball to roll where you want it to roll on top of shooting it where you want to go.
Mm-hmm.
So when these special abilities just drop
Right.
the ball exactly where you shoot it, it doesn't feel all that great. Now, granted, they do things to knock away other people's balls too, which I don't like either. So like if you're close to the pin and they do this ability and drop it next to the pin, your ball's shoved in possibly out of bounds. And
Just not cool.
so I turn off the super shots. I do not play with super shots because I just don't like it. Now there are some funny ones like Wario Super Shot.
Sportsman-like.
Wario Super Shot, it's funny. He does knock people away, but he creates a thundercloud where he landed. And a thundercloud is a mechanic that is in one of the courses with a rainstorm. If you swing
Ooh.
above a certain power level, you get struck by lightning. It's hilarious. It actually prevents you from shooting. So you won't get a stroke loss on it. You won't actually count against you, but you'll just go in this funny animation where you get shocked and you're just like, nope, I have to hit it softer because it won't let me shoot that hard. Like, it's just hilarious.
You'll get an actual stroke because you'll get struck by lightning.
Yes. And that
Oh
is
my
just
God,
a
that's
standard mechanic
hilarious.
in some of the levels anyways. So like I think Wario's is fine. Luigi's creates an ice field where it lands. So the friction on that place just goes skyrockets up. So like the roll and everything is just bad. Oh yeah. And also,
Right.
ice creates a hard surface, so if you shoot from a distance and land on it, it doesn't bounce like like a regular turf where it just like and then rolls. It goes boink and just
Right.
straight up like like it's like hitting rocks like boink.
Oh my god.
um. So yeah, I love Mario
Oh,
Golf. The
I
new
just came
one's
up with
good.
another one.
So go ahead, Morg. What's your next one? That's it
Dr.
first.
Mario, of course.
Dr. Mario. There you
You
go.
gotta talk about Dr. Mario. The Tetris ripoff. It's a great game. Oh my god.
I don't.
Get three,
It's not.
get stacked 3 in a row, and get rid of all the bacteria.
It's color matching more than
It's
Tetris.
Tetris.
Tetris is shape matching, where this
Yeah,
is
but
it's Tetris esque. Yes.
Tetris is all about completing your lines, your horizontals, whereas this is about completing verticals of like 3 or 4.
Right.
So yeah, it's still a good game, but oh my god, some of the pills that you get are just so derpy. Like you'll have like a yellow that's left, like a yellow bacteria you have to deal with, and what does the game do? It gives you nothing but reds and blues, and you're like, what the hell? Come
Just
on,
stack
man,
them in a corner.
give me
You're in the
something good.
punishment corner, Red. You're in the punishment corner.
Yep,
Yeah.
you
I
go
don't
over
play a
there,
lot of
red.
that game,
You go
although
over there, blue.
my daughters really like the Tetris Attack. You know the old Yoshi one.
Oh yeah.
They really my older
Mm-hmm.
daughters especially loves that. And we'll play on like super easy mode, giving her like a big handicap. She still beats me. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
and I've been slowly decreasing her handicap, and she's been getting better from when she plays. Actually, here's the funny thing, Morg. I got them playing Diablo.
Mm-hmm.
We are playing through Diablo 3's story
Oh.
together. My younger daughter is running around telling people she's a necromancer that raises skeletons, and it's hilarious to me.
Oh, that is awesome.
She
Oh
goes,
my god.
she was telling my mom the other day, she's like, Nana, 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 my girl said she didn't have enough essence, so I couldn't raise enough skeletons. And my mom was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, I don't know. Why are we talking about raising skeletons? Like, I was like, it was like a proud father moment. I mean, I saw her first steps, but like, I think this was a little more.
Oh my god. That is just the
Oh,
perfect. That is the best way to get at your own parents is to start teaching your kids like all the fundamentals that go against the principles of your initial parents. It's like, yes,
I mean,
I
my
win.
parents
My
were.
children are playing Diablo and you don't get it.
You're
Oh
confusing me
man.
with Pan. You're confusing me. I did not have that childhood where people were like, "You can't play this." My parents were playing Doom with me when I was 6. Like,
Oh yeah, I remembered.
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So, no golf. Final Fantasy Tactics.
Oh yeah. Yep,
Turn
definitely an offshoot
turn Final Fantasy into a strategy
or spin-off.
RPG. Yeah, spin-off. I think
Mm-hmm.
this is a
Definitely
gimme.
a
A lot of
spin-off.
people like this game. It's not really not well known. It's my first introduction into the whole genre of strategy RPGs. I like them mostly now. I would say the last one that I played to any sort of length was Fire Emblem Three Houses, which I enjoyed quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a lot that I want to play, but they are long. These games are long, and they always are. Um, Man, I gotta clean my glasses. But there's a couple that I want to get into, like Fell Seals, one I have. I started with Banner Saga. I got a little frustrated with it. I might pick it back up. Banner Saga is like a roguelike mixed with a strategy RPG, kind of like the what was it? Something Chalice.
Oh, Massive Chalice.
Yeah,
Yeah, I remember that game.
like Massive
Mm-hmm.
Chalice, where you have some roguelike elements mixed in with strategy RPG. So,
Yeah,
I mean, I guess XCOM
where
is
there
the
was
way.
permadeath and that
Yeah,
every mistake you made, yeah, it was very, very costly. I remember that. God,
So
that game is brutal, but it was
tactics,
real fun.
I know that is another favorite of Ace's. I think it's an Ace said it was one of his favorite games of ever. Um, so
Oh, Pokejon. If you like Final Fantasy Tactics, I recommend playing Pokemon Conquest because it's exactly the same game except with Pokemon.
mm-hmm, I've heard that, and I was interested.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
It is exactly the same thing.
we covered a lot of those. So, do you have another one? Because I have two more.
Well, I can't say Fallout 3 because it's
No,
totally different from 1
it
and 2,
it
but it's
was,
part of the main line.
but they
No.
yeah, yeah, it's still a titled main
I
series.
guess, and I already talked about Mortal Kombat Mythologies Sub-Zero, which is
You liked that
probably
though?
one
You
of
liked that? That game is
it's one of the worst. It's one of
okay.
the
Okay,
worst games ever made for Mortal
this is
Kombat.
supposed to be ones we
Minus
suggest, not
minus Justice League versus
not.
Okay, yeah. I do not recommend that one, and I do not recommend the one where you fight the Justice League in it. That one is hot garbage as well. Like, what a load of bullshit those two games are. Oh my god, they're terrible. Oh my god. Let me see.
Poke
Oh
John,
my
a
god.
short list of you to try for strategy RPGs for me, right? Just my recommendation if you're looking to get into strategy RPGs. We actually have an episode talking about them, but Final Fantasy Tactics is a good one. Um, Into the Breach is an excellent one. It's on Switch and PC. And then Massive Chalice that we discussed earlier is those three I would say are probably really great that I played. And then of course Pokemon Conquest is
Mhm.
something that Morg recommended to you. Um,
Yeah, oh man. Tournament! My god, really? And Pokemon Stadium. There's like
I
every Pokemon spin-off that I can think of now. I just realized that.
Pokemon Stadium. I have a bad taste in my mouth because of Pokemon Stadium. Now,
Well, I mean, like the thing about like if we were talking like Pokemon Stadium 2, that was supposed to be like an extension, like a further
expansion.
end game
Yeah.
to Gold and Silver. Mm-hmm. And essentially so.
I see.
But yeah, the first Pokemon Stadium.
I don't have a problem with what
Eh,
Pokemon Stadium is, aside from the fact I have a problem with what Pokemon Stadium is. It's one of those things where, as a game, what they designed, it works great and it's fine. But what I wanted
yeah.
was Pokken. I wanted something along the lines of
Yeah.
Pokken, and yeah,
Pokken tournament. That's where
yes.
it's at. And you know what? Trues and Ogre can vouch for that 100% because I've seen how he plays Sceptile in that game, and it's pretty
Sceptile was
darn
my
good.
main. Sceptile
Although
was
I
my
would have loved
main.
to have been a Blastoise main.
Yeah, Sceptile
Sceptile,
was amazing.
justifiably so. Like, wow, really versatile and good fighter. Really, really
Only
good. I would
because
love to be like a Blastoise main. Ooh.
Grass is my backup. There was no bug Pokemon to play.
Mm-hmm. Why is it Pokemon has like all like the most, if not all the best spin-offs? Although
That's not true. Mario
Mario
has the
Party's pretty
most.
darn good.
Mario has the
Mario
most
Party
and
is
some of the best.
actually yeah, actually I can't deny that because Mario Party is pretty damn fun and Mario Kart. Oh my
See, that's
god.
the one that I have on my list too. Mario Kart.
Uh,
Now, I'm not a fan of the SNES one. Oh, I know Heresy. I didn't like it as a kid, and I still don't like it. It's a little too tough for me. Mario Kart 64 is where I got into it. Didn't care for Double Dash. Double Dash didn't have any sort of secrets. There's no shortcuts.
mm-hmm.
It was all just pure racing, which I am very much a secret shortcut kind of racer. Um, Beetleborg, no, Beetlebug Adventure Racing that we talked about last week, Morg, that you saw on that list.
Yes, yes.
That is the best Mario Kart. Period. Like that game is like amazing. Um, as far as like shortcuts, you can go through a volcano. You're normally like this track goes around the volcano. You can just go through it. You're like, here's a secret entrance to the volcano, and now you're driving through the volcano, and it's just
Oh my god.
sorry. That's
That
not.
is
This
that
is
is
not a spin-off.
fantastic. Okay.
It is Mario Kart is the spin-off. Yes, yes, Cafe.
Yes,
Lego was
Racers was
amazing.
great for secrets. It was, especially when you use the cannon
Yeah.
and you'd like hit like that one little wall or whatever, and it would open up a passage that would immediately cut you
Yes.
across. I loved
Oh.
the original Lego Racers. It was so good. For that.
I
Lego
binged
Racers
that
2
game hard.
lost a lot of that charm.
Yeah.
Same.
Never
Oh
played
my
2.
god, it was stupidly hard. Stupidly hard. I think I've only ever succeeded at beating Rocket Racer. I think it was like maybe twice, maybe 3 times.
Oh no, I beat him every
But
time.
damn, he is hard. Like
Yeah,
really hard.
I 100%.
What?
Yeah.
No, he gets ahead so fast. He gets like a level 4 green every single time that I fight him, and he just immediately just warps away. Oh my god, he's insane. And like when he gets a lead, ooh.
The problem is you have to bully him specifically the whole time. You have to keep him you have to keep him locked down. And then once you're locked down, like once he's behind you, you start getting the boosts and you just take off, and then you have to execute a perfect race essentially. I did it ages ago.
No mistakes,
We're
or
talking,
otherwise
like,
it's over.
middle school is when I did this. So yeah, it's been a long time. But so yeah, Mario
I'm thinking
Kart,
like
amazing spin-off. Another spin-off we actually mentioned, Pokemon Snap. I love the Pokemon Snap series. New Pokemon Snap is so much worth the money, even though people said that it wasn't, especially the old one. Pokemon Snap's an amazing game. I love it. I beat it. I haven't 100 quote unquote 100% it yet, but I don't plan to. I had my fun with it. It's great. I'm just later, Poke. I'm just,
yeah, it
like,
was fun having you here, buddy. We really enjoyed having you.
But the problem is, it's all I got. That's you like. There's not a lot of. So I was thinking some of the things I was thinking about was D&D games, because technically they're a spinoff themselves. But
I guess you could say that.
Since we're focusing on video games, there isn't a lot of spin-offs within that restriction, though. So you could say,
would Neverwinter count?
No, because Neverwinter would be its own series.
Like, is it technically D&D?
Well, it is.
Okay.
It is rule set of D&D.
Because it's
so Neverwinter Nights that came back in the 2000s. That's actually 3.5.
Yeah.
3.0 and 3.5. It's updated to be 3.5.
Really?
Rules. Yeah, and they're actually like ran.
Because I felt like it was very heavily. Yeah, it felt very heavily derivative of D&D. So I was wondering,
it is a Dungeons and Dragons licensed game,
but
using the Dungeons and Dragons rule sets, like straight up using the numbers, like.
Yeah. I mean, it's a live action equivalent of the tabletop game, is what it is essentially. But
yes, and that's what
does it make it that different?
It does. You had a DM mode.
I guess
You had a DM mode, and you could make your own
really?
adventures. Yeah, it was. People did some crazy stuff.
Okay.
Mode. Obviously, nothing to the level
really
of quality you could do in the pen and paper. Obviously, but it felt pretty close in some of them.
Yeah,
Baldur's Gate is another whole series. That's the problem is, like, with our definition of it being a video game series and then having a spinoff, there's not a Baldur's Gate that really diverges from what Baldur's Gate is until you get Dark Alliance that was an ARPG like Diablo, which I felt like would have been a spinoff from the original party-based Baldur's Gate. So maybe there. Like maybe there, but
maybe
it's that one's
It's kind of hard to
cloudy.
debate.
Yeah, that one's very cloudy. Because Dark Alliance was an amazing game. However, I was very nonplussed about the fact that there was very little randomization until the end game. You could literally go to when you're starting new characters, you could go to the same exact barrels to get the same exact gear in the first couple levels, and it was just like, yeah,
Yeah.
it doesn't feel fun. It doesn't feel different. And that's one of the cool things with ARPG is like, oh, I found this amazing loot. I kid you not, Mort. So let me get
I
around.
mean, we could argue that if we were to take like board games and then turn them into video games, we could technically say Cyberpunk 2077 is a spin-off of the board game.
Whoa, we have to like these, Morg. We have to like them.
That's true. Well, you know what? My brother, he ended up like buying, like he pre-ordered the game, but he did it out of the PlayStation Store, so he was guaranteed a refund anytime he wanted. So he played through the entire game, through all the sub quests, and he got all the different endings. And then he immediately refunded it and bought 3 other games with the money that they gave him back with.
I
Wow,
remember that
like
story.
the best.
And then he
Oh
sent
my
them a
god,
letter
it's so funny.
how upset he was, and he got kicked off their
Oh,
stream. Yeah,
no, he wasn't upset. He was openly mocking them in their Q&A, like just absolutely roasting them, and then encouraging everybody else to bully them. And then he had everybody just getting banned left, right, and center because poor Project. Oh my god.
actually,
CD Project Red.
Cloud,
They just couldn't handle it.
I have one now. It's difficult because if we consider games to be spin-offs of pre-existing materials, this is just blown wide open, right? Like I don't like anything 40K, anything Warhammer would be a spin-off, right? So in that vein, I would recommend Blood Bowl. Blood Bowl's amazing.
Oh,
Like
Blood Bowl, yeah, Blood Bowl, yes.
Also,
Warhammer Fantasy Football.
Yes.
Yes.
It's amazing.
That is fun as hell.
And
I love that game. Oh my god.
Units.
It is fantastic.
Playing a whole season is the way to play that game.
Or mortally cripple them, yeah.
Yeah.
I like that game a lot. It's really, really fun.
I will say there's another one, and it recently released on GOG, and I got it on Steam because it was the only thing at the time, called Chaos Bane. And Chaos Bane is an ARPG in the Warhammer universe where you play as a berserker dwarf, or there's some sort of elven ranger.
Okay.
And there's a spellcaster. I can't remember, but there's only a few set classes that have specific looks. Pretty decent game. My brother and I played through the whole thing, got to end game. It was pretty good. I will say it again. That's another on the ARPG list, right? And it does what Dark Alliance didn't do too well. Very good at randomized loot. However, I was going to say this earlier, Morg. Back to Grim Dawn, another ARPG. This is the gold standard for me as to why an ARPG's randomization is so cool. Okay, I am level 50 something, like 53 in this game, right? I have a headpiece that I found at level 10 that I am still wearing, because if I take it off, my DPS reduces by, is it 10%? And I have yet to find a replacement.
Ooh.
Because
yeah, you might want to keep that on until you find something better.
Because the itemization is random, you can get some great random stuff. So basically the build
at lower levels.
Let me explain a little bit of this game to you, okay?
No.
So you have mastery.
Please do.
You don't have a class, you have a mastery. So you're saying I'm an
Yeah.
occultist,
Okay.
I'm a shaman, I'm a soldier. Like these are different, like basically, essentially, trees.
Pathfinder classifications, pretty
Kind
much.
of, yeah. Like basically, what you would consider
Sort
a
of.
class, but they have their own tree, right? Your own ability tree.
Yeah.
You put in points, blah 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
Also, keep in mind, Titan Quest works the same way. The original developers of Grim Dawn did Titan Quest, then moved on to did Grim Dawn once they left THQ. So, uh, you pick a mastery. Level 10, you pick a second
Mm-hmm.
mastery, and that's your class. So you mix and match classes to create your class, and it's mandatory. Not man. Well, it's not mandatory.
That's really
It's
interesting.
heavily
I like it.
suggested. So if you
That
pair,
sounds an awful lot like.
go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say it sounds an awful lot like the original Dungeons and Dragons, where you'd have to start off as one class and then slowly work your way to like achieve like a different class
You're
based
talking
off
about
of like
prestige classes, and that was
what
not a
levels you were
thing.
specifically for that.
Prestige classes were a thing in second
Was
edition.
it?
You could multi-class originally, yes, but
Oh.
um,
Okay.
this is a little different because ARPGs are known like Diablo. You know Diablo. You'd pick the barbarian. You're a barbarian
Yeah.
the whole time. This is like I'm
Yeah.
gonna pick the barbarian, and then I'm gonna pick the sorceress, and that's a class. Like that's essentially what this does, except there's like a lot of options. Again, Titan Quest does this as well, but the reason why I want to talk about this is I am a arcanist, which is their sort of version of a spellcaster, plus a shaman, which equals a
Mm-hmm.
druid. So I am a druid in that game, which is the combination of an arcanist and a shaman. Um,
Oh.
which means I can focus on aether damage, which is sort of necrotic damage, or magic. I think it's magic.
Ah, ether. Yeah.
Or
Like ethereal stuff. Okay.
lightning or cold. So I have a build that focuses on lightning and cold. This headpiece does this crazy thing where it converts all lightning damage into cold damage. So
Oh
for a
no.
specific attack. So I can not only do I get a boost to both, but I get to double dip on the boosts because it is both lightning and cold. So it is,
Oh
and that's
no.
what this headpiece does, and that's why I can't get rid of it.
You screwed.
I didn't. Here's the thing. I have played this game several times, like several times, and I have gotten to end game 3 times. I am now
And you probably never had a helmet like that ever
ever
again.
before,
Just that
ever
one.
before, just that one helmet since I got this character, right? Here's the crazy thing. I also got that on a weapon at level like 16. So I have these super low level weapon and helmet that I can't replace, but I am clearing content better than I have ever in that game. I am literally
Oh
just
wow.
dropping tornadoes and lightning bolts and falling ice meteors on things and just sprinting through levels. It's hilarious. Like I do so much damage, it's not even funny. And that's the kind of thing that I like in an ARPG, but like it facilitates that kind of itemization. Dark Alliance didn't do that very well. Is all I was getting at. is all that to say that Dark Alliance didn't do it for me. It was fun in the day, but like there's so many better things in the genre. Damn it, Morg, I want to talk about ARPGs one day. I want to do it, and I can't.
There has to be a day where I can play enough of them.
Now you've played Diablo 2.
But
That's
yeah,
considered
no.
one of the gold standards
Yes.
for the genre.
Yeah. I love that one. And I'm gonna play it again once I get it on Switch, I think it's on.
Yeah,
Is that when
yeah,
the
it'll be on
is
Switch.
that on one of the consoles that the remaster is gonna be on?
Oh,
Yeah.
it's on everything. It'll be on PS4, Xbox, Switch, and PC.
Mm-hmm.
With cross progression.
Ooh. Ooh,
So
I
I'm
like
getting it
that.
on both PC and Switch because I can play on the go, upload my save, pick it up back up on the computer.
Oh man, that's really good. Actually, I like that a lot.
Um,
Mm,
so I will say, like,
Oh,
just at the end of
I
this,
need
because
a bigger SD card for my Switch.
I just bought one not that long ago. Um, I will say there are a couple games more that if you want to get into ARPGs, like we said with SRPGs, ARPGs, here's a couple. Diablo's a big one. You have that on your list, right? I would
Yep.
heavily suggest both Diablo 2 and Diablo 3. Diablo 1 you can skip.
Mm-hmm. So
I
that's
love
two.
Diablo 1, but you can skip it. It's
Okay.
it's like saying I love Monster Hunter and you can skip number 1. It's totally fine. You can skip number 1.
Okay. So we got two.
Okay. Next, either Titan Quest or Grim Dawn. One of those two. Both are readily available.
Okay.
Both are regularly cheap.
Okay.
I would say those are your three gold standards for ARPGs at the moment. There are several others, but those are the ones that stand out to me. I would say a lot of
Okay.
people
So both
recommend,
Diablos, maybe Grimdahl.
a lot of people, and a lot of people really love it, and I have played it quite a bit, and it appeals to me at times as Path of Exile, but you played that and didn't like it. So it is getting, I will
I played it
say,
on console, and it was the biggest mistake of my life.
here's the problem. Here's the problem with this game. The game is not bad. And I know that. Not liking the game is not bad. It is just too complex for a beginner in the genre.
Yeah,
It is too complex
it
for
is.
someone like me who doesn't dedicate every gaming hour to the genre. It is purely for the hardcore ARPG fans, which is fine,
It
but
is.
it is hard to get into because of that. Um, and I have
And that's a
not.
problem for me because I am not a hardcore ARPG guy. I just, oh
No,
man.
no. If you stick with Diablo,
Uh,
stick with
Carpal
Diablo.
tunnel. No.
You don't need. Boy.
Yep.
I would say that some fun ones to play. Cloud is suggesting Lost Ark. I have never played Lost Ark. That seems fine. I've seen some good stuff about it.
Ooh.
Chaos Bane's a fun one. It's a little limited, but it's fun. Um,
Okay.
be careful of bugs, but it's getting better. Wolfson. Now, Wolfson is infamous
Hmm.
for having a terribly botched launch. But Wolfson
Oh.
is very simple. It's like a simplified version of Path of Exile. It's got that big wheel
Okay.
of nodes
Okay.
that you remember, that big, all those crazy ability tree. Now
Oh my
imagine
god.
having,
It looked like yeah.
I will
Oh.
say, yeah, Lost Ark is, but it's getting a Western release. Cloud. It is, that was announced. Lost Ark is coming to other areas.
Okay.
Imagine like half the complexity, so it's still there. You do have to do some searching.
Okay.
Half the complexity, but you can now rotate different circles, so it makes it more complex again. But
Yeah.
however, however,
Oh my god, it's like looking up into the night sky and being like, pick out your favorite star. And then it's just like,
now rotate
I
30
don't
degrees, and you're like, what?
know. Yeah, now picture each one of them as being like one of those combination locks,
I
and you
I
just
will
have to
say
twist them.
I will say
It's like, okay, now I get the right combination.
from complexity's sake, for I would, if you want something a little less complex, go for Titan Quest over Grim Dawn.
Okay.
Because Grim Dawn has a devotion system where you're devoting yourself to
Okay.
gods. And you talking about constellations was the thing. You're actually completing points in a constellation tree. That's a little more complex. It's actually really cool. You're giving
Ooh.
devotion to different gods in the sky, and they give you abilities for completing them. It's actually a really cool concept, but take that thing out, and that's what Titan Quest is. It's everything but that, as far as like progression goes.
Okay.
So Titan Quest is a good lead into Grim Dawn. Like once you've got Titan Quest
Okay.
down, you can do Grim Dawn. But here's the thing. It's weird, right? So you would think, oh, well, the people who did
Mm-hmm.
Titan Quest are Grim Dawn. Grim Dawn and Titan Quest are now separate entities. And it didn't used to be. It's really weird because THQ picked it back up
Huh.
and made expansions since Grim Dawn's existed. So it's now a separate company working on Titan Quest, and it's just
Okay.
it's funny though, and they've added new masteries and stuff too. It's really cool. I don't know. I'm on a tear about ARPGs. I'm sorry. It just I've been really into them lately. I have like a game plan where I'm like going to finish a playthrough of Grim Dawn, going to go back and do a playthrough of Titan Quest, going to go back and do a playthrough of Grim Dawn, and like alternating between the two because I'm just on an ARPG tear. Diablo 4 news got me hyped. Did you see there was new update for Diablo 4 news last week?
No, I haven't had a chance to see that. What were they actually talking about? I'm really
Art
curious.
direction.
'Cause
Here's the
I know
crazy thing.
Oh, really?
Art direction looks amazing, and they were talking about all sorts of cool stuff, like character customization, like the most customizable Diablo's
I
ever
gotta look
been.
this up.
It's just,
I gotta look this up.
I'm so excited, people. I'm
Uh,
so excited. And Diablo 4 is like
Diablo 4.
3 years away still. Or probably not three, maybe next year. Also, another notable um, series in ARPGs, which I wouldn't call essential but is notable, I would say, is the Torchlight series. Torchlight series is very beloved because it is the people who made Diablo 2 moved on to make Torchlight.
Oh yeah, Torchlight was a fantastic game. I remembered playing the first one. It was so good.
Torchlight
I mean, like the fact that
2,
you were able to like
yeah, go ahead.
I remember Torchlight 1 being really really good because I think that was the first time that I had like a pet companion like come in and then just like grab all the shit that I had collected from the dungeon because I'd be over encumbered, and then give it to the pet, have them go off, and just like put all that stuff away or sell it.
Yep.
I didn't care what they did with it. And then they would just come back and give me the pocket change that they got from apparently bartering or haggling with the merchant, whatever it was that they were doing. And and then I just get the money, and then I just keep going through the dungeon, digging deeper until I was like finally finished with it. So like
That
my God,
system,
like that really was a nice perk.
that system has continued
Like it was really nice.
in Torchlight 2, and there's now a Torchlight 3. And I do like Torchlight 3. I maxed out, I max level every character in Torchlight 3, every class. I did that during COVID, because that's when it came out, was during COVID.
Yeah.
Torchlight 3 is a pretty solid game. However, it falls into the category of I would prefer, while I can play Grim Dawn by myself, and Titan Quest by myself, and Diablo by myself, Torchlight feels so much better with other people because it's just a little more
I can
bland.
imagine, yeah.
Just a little more bland, so it really needs the extra person to sort of punch it up.
That and like some of the classes felt a little bit like I don't know, like not very well balanced on their own.
Thanks for stopping
Like
in.
especially
Have
the
a good night.
alchemist. Pretty weak. Yeah, you take care.
So yeah, I'm sorry. I just got on this ARPG just like cuz like it's been bottled up.
Nah, we might as well
It's been bottled up. It is a genre I don't
might
wanna
as well talk about it because yeah,
Well, we ran out of spin-offs. So
it's been boiling and simmering away in your mind and your soul, just like I want to talk about it, but we never do. We never will.
We never
and this,
get to.
This is my time.
It's my time to shine. So that being said, I do want to push. If people are interested in playing, I will play these games with you. Titan Quest, Grim Dawn, Diablo 3 even. Like I said, I've been playing Diablo 3 with the girls.
Mm-hmm.
The girls really kicked off this binge again because I was playing Diablo 3 with them. Granted, it's a little slower pace with the girls, and it's fine. But which we got to play some more tomorrow. I let them have free reign. I got them some extra Minecraft dollars, and they were buying mods on Minecraft and playing those today. But like, we're gonna go back to Diablo tomorrow. I don't know, man. it is such a great genre, and it's weird because it's like fighting games, right? Fighting games have so much love for the
Mm-hmm.
people that play them, but they sell so terribly. And I feel like ARPGs and they're in the same boat. Like they don't sell terribly. Diablo 3 was the best selling PC game period for a long time. Like period. Um but yeah. Anyways, Morg, do you have any other spin-offs or anything you want to talk about tonight?
Uh, Let me see. What are some that can come to mind? Yeah, I think I'm done for now. I'm pretty sure that in like a couple of hours, some will just hit my brain and like
Sure.
immediately just memory will kick in and I'll be like, God damn it, I could have had that on the podcast. I did that a couple of times before, and I'm kind of upset that that happened. But yeah, or I'll do my best to remember better next time. But yeah, most of
Well,
that stuff was off the top of my head. But yeah,
um
I'm surprised I can have a good memory like that.
that's it for spin-offs tonight, guys. So Morg,
Mm-hmm.
we'll sign off here. But next week, Morg, Pan is going to be back, and we're also going to have Stormy Rise on, and we're going to talk about Monster Hunter Stories 2 some more. I'm sure.
That's going to be great.
But also, we have a larger
Oh
topic,
yeah, we definitely have to.
and that is the introductions
Mm-hmm.
to a game series slash game. Sort of like not necessarily hey, I booted up the game, it felt really good. More like how was I introduced to X? How was I introduced to this? And like our favorite experiences of being introduced to
Oh, like
something
a series.
or just a game, right? Because it doesn't have to be a series. Like
Oh.
I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
put my three biggest up on there, which will be both Monster Hunter, Doom, and Diablo. All three of those. Um, I will probably talk about Oddworld. I'm probably just going to talk about my favorite series in general that I've been introduced to, and then go from there. Because those like sort of core games, have all introduced me to other games in their genres, except Monster Hunter. Because I mean, I'm not playing Cabela games, right? I'm not playing other hunting games, so.
Whenever there's a new Monster Hunter title, when is there ever time to play anything else?
I
You
don't know,
know?
man.
Oh
I
my
don't know.
god.
We all
It's
finished Rise pretty quickly, so there you go.
a good point. It's not a jab at Capcom. They made a quality game. It's just a little shy on the quantity, just a
It's
tiny bit.
it's
If they had a little bit more to it,
it's hard to say
pretty
that the
solid game.
quantity is the
I
problem.
give it an 8.5.
It has a good solid base with a lot of monsters. The problem is that it is streamlining too much, and we are finishing the game faster and faster.
Yeah.
However, it is still good that they are doing this because it makes the game more palatable. So it sells better. But we
Yeah.
just get to the end game quicker. And the reason why I'm still playing is because I'm crown hunting with my brother when we care to. It's not even every night anymore. I have not played in
Yeah.
3 or 4. I haven't played all week, actually, I think. I know I played one day because I didn't have internet, like I talked about. I didn't have internet like all week until
Oh my
Thursday.
god.
You probably saw me hop on your Discord. It was like, I have internet again. Yay! Like
Yeah, I did see it. I was like, yes, victories, small victories.
oh man.
Oh my god,
It
yes.
was it
That is
was
so
hell
true.
going to work for 10 hours and then coming home and fighting with Comcast to get my internet to like I've been on a 10-hour day. We were outside. It was hot again. Like can you just look at your shit, man? I just want the internet to work. I just want to sit here while I'm eating dinner and watch like Cold Case Files or something else that I can just watch. Anyways, so
Oh my
that's it
god.
for tonight, folks. Thank you, Morg, for joining me. Um, got to talk about some spin-offs just because we're hyped for Stories 2. I think it's been a great game so far, and it's just been day one. So I may not be playing that anymore right now. I may, since I played a lot of hours into it already. I may sort of hit a stopping point for tonight and move on to some other things tonight. But we'll see. So thank you everyone for listening / watching. This is 421 at Hunters Hub Pod on Twitter and on Twitch. Come join our Discord, and we're gonna have hunts and that kind of stuff. And you're in the Discord. I am going to create Grim Dawn other game rooms, whatever. If you're interested, I want to play these games with people. I really do.
Yeah.
I know everyone's playing stories right now. I get it, but I have my ARPG needs. I want to play with people. Anyways,
Yeah.
thank you.
Everybody gets Skyrim fever now and then, They just feel it. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, I got that Skyrim fever. I gotta hit that. Ooh, that sweet spot, baby.
If I
But
get
yeah.
Skyrim Fever, I actually boot it up on my Switch because I have the physical version on my Switch. But Skyrim Fever for me is: do you want to be a thief with magic that shoots arrows and kills people? And it doesn't happen too often anymore. But anyways, thank you guys for listening. Morg, you got your Discord to plug, and
Mm-hmm. Yep. Oh yeah. Oh wait, actually, you know what? I could probably do that in the Twitch stream, maybe. Here, let me
yeah,
see.
if you guys are on the
Boom.
Twitch,
Let me
there
see if
there
I
is a
can.
link to
Yeah.
Hunters Hub Discord and our Twitter and our SoundCloud and all the stuff. And yeah, of course, if you're on SoundCloud, Twitter's probably the best way to get a hold of our Discord. Or you just search it up, I guess. Although I don't know if we're searchable. I don't
Mm-hmm.
think we're that popular yet. But anyways, have a good night, everyone, and we will see you later.
Immediately, as soon as I provide a link here, boom, boom. Link deleted. Oh well. Bye.
Oh boy.